Okay, well, let's talk about writing equivalent algebraic expressions, part two. And things get very interesting when you have more than two terms. Let's just even say three terms as an example, right? You can write so many different equivalent expressions just with three terms. So let's just walk through a few possibilities of how you can get there. So the first thing, and what we're going to talk about a lot, is remembering this, that when you have a subtraction, that means that what you're subtracting is negative, right? We've been talking about this a ton, right? So the first thing you can do is simply remember that a minus is the same as adding that negative, adding that opposite, right? So if you can think about that and change everything to adding, right? Now that minus is adding a negative, right? And now when we have just adding, remember the key thing is when you have adding terms, you can just switch them around, swap them around. Whenever you just move and switch any two terms around, you've created a new equivalent expression. So all I did with this is, I remember I have negative 6c is the first term, negative 3a is the second term, and positive 12 is the third term. Just going to swap them around. Right, and to start, I'm going to keep the negative 6c, and I'm going to swap negative 3a and 12. Boom, right? Now I decide, let me put 12 first and put negative 6c, then negative 3a. Then I'm going to swap those around. Keep 12 first, and then swap negative 6c and negative 3a. And I get 12 plus negative 3a plus negative 6c. Again, notice all of these are different ways to write the same thing, but all of them have the same three terms, negative 6c, negative 3a, and positive 12, right? What if I put negative 3a first? There we go. Then I put 12 second and negative 6c. Well, let me keep negative 3a. You can see that if it wasn't obscured. And negative 6c plus 12, right? Again, all of these are equivalent. So already I've written it six different ways. Well, now let's remember we can change all of these to remember. Let's go back to that same idea and remember that every adding a negative is a minus. So look what I could do right there. That plus negative 3a, I could just say minus 3a, right? Same thing, same exact thing. Remember, adding a negative is a minus. A minus is adding a negative. Even the next one, right? Let's check this one out. We get negative 6c and negative 3a. Look, a couple of minuses. Boom. 12 minus 6c minus 3a. Every adding a negative is a subtraction, right? Look, now I have, again, 2, right? Plus negative 3a plus negative 6c. I can subtract them both, right? Keep the 12, minus 3a minus 6c, right? Adding a negative is subtracting. All right, let's go to here. Now I just have plus negative 6c, so let me just subtract it over here, minus 6c, right? Adding a negative is a subtraction, right? Oh, and now we just have plus a negative 6c there, so I can subtract 6c, right? And there's different ways we could, again, switch up these as well. These aren't everything, but you get the idea that this is why algebra can be confusing, because there's so many ways to write the same thing. But remember, in all of these, we have a negative 6c, a negative 3a, and a positive 12. So if you look for that, it makes it simple. All right, let's go practice one of these, see how you can do. All right.